Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, at the outset, I would like to thank the Office of the OSCE Representative on Freedom of the Media, Mr. Jürgen Heisel, for organizing this conference, which is already 17th in a row, and for once again placing this important topic high on the OSCE agenda. Strengthening freedom of the media, including the safety of journalists, is a priority for Georgia. The right to freedom of expression and in particular freedom of the media and the principles of diversity and pluralism are vital in creating an informed and active society, which in turn is an indispensable precondition for democratic participation. Journalists have an essential role as public watchdogs and are therefore an integral part of the foundation every democratic society is built on, providing us with information on issues that directly affect our lives. The Georgian government is committed to further safeguard and promote media freedom and protection of journalists in the country in accordance with the relevant OSCE commitments and international standards. Accordingly, Article 17 of the Constitution of Georgia protects the right of all people to freely receive and disseminate information, including through the Internet. Specifically, a freedom of opinion and the expression of opinion shall be protected. No one shall be prosecuted because of his or her opinion or for expressing his or her opinion, and every person has the right to receive and impart information freely. Article 19 of the UN Universal Declaration of Human Rights shares a similar spirit, granting everyone the right to freedom of opinion and expression. This right includes freedom to hold opinions without interference and to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas through any media and regardless of frontiers, reads Declaration. Unfortunately, these rights and values enshrined in the national and international frameworks have been significantly jeopardized globally due to the COVID-19 pandemic as the most consequential crisis of a decade, widening social gaps in various directions. While being of crucial importance, access to timely and reliable information has been among the key challenges faced by many in the world. The COVID-19 crisis has further demonstrated the crucial need for resilient democracies, countering the spread of disinformation with due respect for citizens, freedom of expression, and need for access to free, reliable, trustworthy, accurate, and science-based information. In the light of global pandemic, when all efforts are focused on the fight against the spread of the virus, Georgia has been also countering the infodemic. Russia has been continuing its aggressive, opportunistic behavior to gain political dividends, including by intensifying propaganda war against Georgia. Fake news and disinformation campaigns coordinated by Russia has been attempting to sow confusion about COVID-19 health implications and introduce conspiracy theories, as well as to encourage division and panic in the society, discrediting government response efforts to the pandemic. Disinformation activities targeted the topic of occupied territories, warning Georgian authorities not to spread virus there, while certain state measures were reported to discriminate against ethnic minorities in the country. Adversarial narratives have also claimed collapse of country's economy, while one of the most successful institutions in the fight against spread of the coronavirus, Richard Lugar Center for Public Health Research, was accused by Russia of developing disease and questioned its role in fight against the pandemic. The global crisis has once again proved the distinct power of information and the significance of media literacy. Worth mentioning, when challenges we face in today's world has further accelerated the need and level of new technologies penetration in our daily lives, unfortunately, authoritarian states found it as an additional efficient tool to pursue their mailing interest against democratic systems. Clear demonstration of it are cyber attacks targeting democracies, which many countries, including my own, has experienced on several occasions. In this context, I would like to recall the very recent massive cyber attack carried out against the Lugar laboratory and computer system of the Georgian Health Ministry, followed by dissemination of deliberately falsified documents to undermine the institution in public eye, thus requiring all of us, including media, to be extra alert for the cyber-enabled disinformation activities. Not very long ago, on October 28, 2019, a large-scale cyber attack was launched against the websites, servers, and other operating systems of different media outlets, government and private sector organizations. The investigation conducted by the Georgian authorities in close cooperation with our partners concluded that the cyber attacks was planned and executed by the Russian Federation. Dear conference participants, since the beginning of the crisis, the government of Georgia made efforts to guarantee provision of timely and reliable information to the population and media. With this goal, daily government briefings were held to establish a direct communication and cooperation channel for exchanging COVID-19 related updates between high-level officials such as the Prime Minister, other ministers, experts, and media representatives. At the briefings, a wide range of journalists had an opportunity to ask questions and solicit information, including through live broadcast. Over 400 briefings have been held so far. In order to provide timely access to information during the state of emergency to the citizens with disabilities, the government briefings are broadcasted in sign language. For those citizens with hearing impairments who do not know sign language, transcripts of briefings are uploaded to the governmental social media page immediately after briefings. In collaboration with the public broadcaster, the information is also translated into the ethnic minority languages. Despite the COVID-19 pandemic coinciding with the parliamentary pre-election process in Georgia, it was assessed as one of the calmest held so far in the country. The only incident that has occurred involving media representatives took place on September 29, 2020, where a confrontation broke out in one of the cities, Marneuli, between activists of political parties. As a result, journalists of the Mtavari Archi who were reporting the incident were injured, among others. On the same day, the local police department launched an investigation under the Criminal Code of Georgia on the fact of unlawful interference with the journalists' professional activities. The government of Georgia stands firm to assure that all protective as well as punitive measures are equally applied by the Ministry of Internal Affairs without any discrimination on the basis of political views or belonging. Notably, neoliberal media policy in Georgia has resulted in the increased numbers of TV broadcasters and promotion of media pluralism in Georgia. Before 2012, there were only 4 national TV broadcasters, including public broadcaster in Georgia. Today, the number has increased up to 100, including 20 national digital TV broadcasters. It is also noteworthy to mention that according to Freedom House report, Freedom of the Net 2020, Georgia is in the category of free countries and among the world's top 10 countries which enjoy freedom on the net. Freedom of expression and media freedom protected by the Constitution and the legal framework remain to be of high importance for the government of Georgia. We also acknowledge that today we face an increased destabilizing effect by dishonest and manipulative practices by certain actors, interfering with free access to information by distributing deliberately fabricated news or imposing an undue censorship. We look forward that recommendations of this conference will contribute to better understanding on how to address this challenge and how to respond while maintaining firm commitment to the foundational principles of freedom of speech, expression, and freedom of media. We are convinced all participants will engage in useful exchange of ideas and hope that the discussion would translate into developing relevant practical recommendations and action. Let me conclude my thank again Mr. Jürgen Heisel and his team for convening this important event. Thank you very much.